Move on to another issue, and the High Court is currently considering whether the federal government's school chaplaincy program is unconstitutional. A Toowoomba father is behind the legal challenge. The scheme has placed about 2,500 chaplains into public schools, but according to the rules, they're not supposed to preach or convert students. Today, it's being reported in The Australian that a Queensland chaplain arranged for the creationist John Mackay to deliver a so-called science presentation at Gympie State High School. Now, Scott, you're a theologian, you're a former Uniting Church minister, but you're not in favour of chaplaincy in school. Why is that?
Not at all. I need to clarify this. Personally, I have no issue with chaplains in schools, so long as there's an arrangement that's come to between a local school and a local community. I'm all for civil relationships among various institutions: school, local government, churches, mosques, synagogues, whatever. It seems to me that as soon as you bring government funding into the equation, we're in a moral quagmire. And this is precisely what the High Court challenge is about. A lot of people wanted to elevate Ron Williams as to, some kind of window smashing anti-religious crusader. All he's actually really doing is challenging whether the Commonwealth overstepped its mark in coming into this contractual agreement with Scripture Union Queensland. The issue is purely about funding, and I suppose the best way of putting my own position here is that the church's relationship and influence within Australian society has been on the decline for many decades. As we've seen the churches decline, we've seen political lobbying on the part of churches and church groups increase. We've also seen churches' reliance on government funding increase. And it seems to me as soon as the church has to rely on the government or legislation to cement its role, that's a pretty clear sign that church leaders no longer believe in God.
The government supports it, the opposition supports it. They think it's great that there's people in there who allow children, school students, to approach them and have a shoulder to cry on if they're in difficult circumstances.
And yet the chaplain's own role is very, very, very messy. Anyone who's had anything to do with Christianity will tell you that part of Christian service within society is part of their own expression of what it means for them to be followers of Jesus. That might not be in the form of overt proselytizing. Hopefully it wouldn't be. But it would be, we live the way that we live because of what we believe, because of who it is that we worship. And so because many chaplains that I know, have no idea what are we supposed to be doing on these school grounds. What they end up being is a kind of de facto teacher's aide. And because of the government funding, which we need to remember Julia Gillard seized with both hands and in fact extended the funding, this was a way, if you like, for her to baptize her faith in schools and in the process get certain
Okay, quick comment, Andrew, from you on this one.
Well, political correctness gone mad. What a waste of the High Court's time. Who cares? Let the chaplain stay. That's all I have to say.
Tim?
No, I actually am more on the other side on this one. I actually think that I'm not against religion in schools. I'm very pro actually learning about religion in schools because people should. It's actually a very important part of the foundation, but it should be perhaps part of comparative religion rather than actually just one type of religious faith.